Arts. We're here at the Clarendon Gallery in Mayfair. I'm very happy to say we've got Christian Hook, who's just come in to see me after last night's very successful opening of his Darwin Series show. Christian, welcome along.
Hi.
Thanks very much for coming to talk to me.
Thank you.
How did the show go last night for you?
It was incredible. I think it's been the best show up to now. I mean, the attendance was completely full of the gallery, and people outside queues and all that stuff. And it was just, it was really, really good. And I had Damien Hirst come to see me. Which
great!
Was like,
Fantastic.
And we did I think that the series of events that we had was also it's entertaining. It was great. Like apart from everybody coming to see the art, we had time to talk to a little bit.
Yes.
Talk to everybody. Like I went round everybody. Like,
how many came last night, do you think?
I have no idea. But it was like 500.
Wow.
Or something like that. Because we had like a maximum list, but then with people from Facebook and people flying from different places, we can't leave someone flown all the way to see it out. So basically, in the end, we just had to wait for some people to leave to bring some more people in. And but it was a fantastic event. I was really happy with it. I mean, we nearly sold out before we even opened the doors, which was another great thing. And but you need some kind of response to anything that you create. I mean, for a musician, if he played in his room all the time and never got any, he'd just stop playing at some point, because as much as you like something, I think all the arts require some kind of response, and painting is one of the ones that has the least, in a way, because you stay in a room, well, not painting, but painting, sculpture, that kind of art, a response to that is very minimal. You spend a whole year just in a room, basically, figuring out stuff like that. So it's very important to have an exhibition, to have an outlet, to have a contact with people, and it's nice to see that other people do appreciate and see what you see. That's sometimes I'm doing something and I think it's always a personal thing for me,
Well, it's interesting, this Darwin series. What made you go down that road? Because I've looked at them and they're stunning works of horses. You obviously got a great affinity with the question.
I don't think it's actually an affinity for the horse itself. I mean, I think it's more that in art school, everybody does life drawing. Everybody's focuses on anatomy and stuff. I mean, I live most of the year in Gibraltar. It's very near, Jerez, 20-minute drive to Jerez or whatever. They have the best, Cartujano, Lipizano horses. And
they're stunning animals.
They're stunning animals, and I mean, if you're faced with one, if you're ever in front of a Lipizano, a proper Spanish one, I'm saying, the impact it has on any artist, I think, anybody who sees one, is almost like going back in time to the time of mythology or something. This animal walks out, and it's not like seeing a horse. It's not like going on the street. And I mean, any horse is impressive, but like seeing a horse anywhere. But these animals, the way they stride or they walk in, and the way they hold their necks, and it's almost going back. And I'm not joking. So the first time I saw one, I went to this. I've seen Spanish horses, but a thoroughbred Lipizano, Cartujano horse from Jerez, and we were tasting some wines with the Domecq family and sherries and all that stuff they have in barrels, and inside that room they have these skylights inside the rooms that they have all this stuff, and they had a little arena, and they brought in one of their horses, and I'd never seen anything like that ever. I just saw it and I thought, what is this thing? It's just and the form and the way it moves and everything is just unbelievable, really. And I just thought, look, it's the closest thing really to studying anatomy in a human. It's it's still got muscles, still got this, but it's got its own. It's more spectacular in some way. And
but because of their lack of colour, because they're white or grey,
but what I'm saying is, I've ridden horses before. I've been spent a few years actually going to a place very near Gibraltar, just a 10-minute.
Got Soto Grande close.
Yeah. And I'd have a few friends that own horses, so we'd go into rivers, up streams, then up into the mountains, this and the other. And it's fun, like going around all the stuff on the horse. But I'm not like a passionate rider, or I'm not like I like it, but that's not the reason why I chose the equestrian stuff. I think it's when I saw these horses, they were just like I don't know. I was just impressed by them completely, and I thought this is just. It's so graceful and so majestic and so whatever that I just thought I'd like to try something on them. And the other thing was, I think also that I always admired, although I loved all the really modern stuff, and although I loved all the abstractions and all the and I did a lot of abstract work for a long time and all that stuff. But although I loved that, I loved George Stubbs's interpretation of horses. I mean, when I was in, it's not so much like the way that. The painter. I thought it was the way that he chose to make the head smaller or the neck bigger.
Yeah. You notice that in Stubbs, don't you? The head is slightly smaller
and
than the
how
rest of the
he
body.
just decides to stretch a leg and to make the animal more graceful. It's always with the intention of making it more majestic. And I not long ago I went to I'd seen it before, but I went to I think it was in the Tate Gallery or National Gallery. I can't remember which one. It's the National Gallery, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I went in and I saw Whistlejacket live, in real life again. And
it's interesting that Stubbs is quite
flat colour in the background. There's no background.
No,
at the time. No. So it just flattens. There's no floor. There's no nothing. And then there's this horse, standing, and the way that the horse is, is tweaked by him to look like this, graceful because you're looking down.
Yeah.
I just saw it and I thought, it's a wowing, because it's got this factor of, I just thought it was incredible. But on the other hand, right, so that's why I basically chose equestrian works. But apart from that part, I'm not really looking for that wow factor in the work. Although it happened to me with this, I'm far more interested really in what's left out. You see,
the question of missing stuff out.
I do music. I write songs. And I've been I'm doing stuff with MTV. And I write songs for other people. And I do stuff like that. I've done it for years. And when I write a song or when you do anything with music, you can't have a chorus all the time. It just doesn't work. A song doesn't work with a chorus. So it's the best part, and you want to hear it again, but you can't hear it all the time, or there's no song. So the reason why you like it is because there's a bit that's not that not that high, not that dynamic at the beginning, and then you have a bridge which builds you up to it, and then suddenly boom, you've got this thing. But it's usually you only have two choruses and then this ending thing that's got a bit of the chorus in it, in the structure of the song. So inside the canvas, I can't have the greatest parts happening because I like it all the time. So I start playing with this, and I like where there's silence, which means that there's nothing. So I take stuff completely off, and then even if you can't see where it is, or it doesn't matter. It's just, I know that the eye kind of makes up.
It's a bit like that diptych over there. You can't see the horse's neck over there, but you know it's there, and the eye traces it. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute.
But it's a fun thing for as well. But anyway, that's the. And what happens is, as I said, I have a response to something. So when I say I'm learning how to see, right, is that when I'm faced with something, or I'm videoing something. Usually I video things, so I've got all the different motions in it and all that.
Yeah.
But it's not just a visual thing at all. I see something, and that whole I feel things. It's not that I feel something for what's happening. When I say I feel things, I mean as in I walk into this new place that I've never been to before, and there's maybe the smell of the place itself. You know,
Yeah.
every time I went to Jerez, Jerez has a smell.
Yeah.
You know, it has a temperature. Like, you know, so I walk into and it's quite hot. Like, and there's this buzzing sound, this hum in the air all the time.
Yeah.
And there's and when the horses come out and they, like, you know, like they're always quite nervous and, you know, like, and
as a thoroughbred would be,
and it's right. So I'm trying to be aware, right, of all these things and have them, right. So what is the most? So how can you can't paint a smell, really? No. But yeah, but it has in my head. Right?
It has a colour. Do you
I
think?
have to try and find not a colour, but maybe a combination of the way where I layer, right, or the way where I do, when I hear like just a buzz or sound or something like that, that's just like quiet because I was looking that way, right? And then I look back at the house, and then, you know, those gaps in time I try and record that, so in my head, so that it has it in the painting at some point, whether it makes sense to the viewer or not. Yeah. I'm trying to see, right? So I'm just trying to learn how to see all the time, and there's no books like or no anything written, not for art anyway. I mean, I know this is the way. Ways of seeing and, you know, and all that stuff, but it's a different way that I'm trying to like. I'm trying to be aware of trying to use like the whole experience of seeing, like, you know. So it's difficult, but it's exciting because as you walk into something, also you never ever like stay fixed on something. You always like check the environment around. That little moment of checking somewhere else, right, is part of the experience of seeing. Earlier on. So it has to be in. Like, so that's what I'm saying. That like that I'm trying to be aware of how we see something. Like you always look around you to make sure there's like, you know, you check who else is in the room. You check like the corner of the room for some reason. You check your own safety. You check like so seeing something is a big thing, and I want to get closer to painting what I see. That's it.
Well, I think you've done a great job here. It's wonderful work. We'll just have a walk round in a moment and just point out a couple of works. But you're from Gibraltar. Yeah. Recently, you had a very nice thing happen to you from.
Yeah, I did.
Tell us a little bit about what happened.
I got the freedom. Well, I was you know, selected for the Freedom of the City Award, which is you know, they have it obviously in the UK as well, and it's like you know, the highest accolade you can get, and I was like really honoured because it's chosen by the people.
Yes.
You know, of the city, and it was a really, you know, touching thing that all of Gibraltar wanted me to you know, to have this award.
Yes.
So anyway, they brought in the Queen Victoria, I think it was.
Queen Mary, yeah.
Victoria, anyway,
she's a bit gone, but I know.
Anyway, and we had an exhibition on board.
Yeah.
You know, and then they, you know, the gallery asked me, like, can you do some work for this exhibition? And because it was in a ship at sea, you know, I thought I want something that's relevant, that makes sense to me for that. So I cannot work for just. I don't really usually anyway. Like get a canvas and start painting. That's it. I like to have like a theme or a topic or like something that I can, you know, that I'm engrossed in already, or something that I like developing, or something I'm trying to achieve, or something, you know. So they told me this, and I thought I want to adapt what I'm doing so it makes sense to being in a ship, like a voyage at sea. Needs something. So I went to a bookshop, and on the side of the on the corner of the bookshop there was this small book on Darwin. It was just standing up, you know, all the books are lying down, and there was this one was standing up, and it was The Origin of Species. But it's like this edition had the beagle, something. I thought the beagle was a dog, you know. And
the ship. Yeah,
when I got near, I opened the first page. It was a ship. And I felt like, you know, wow. I just walked into the bookshop, and it's like something that's been at sea. Yeah. So I'll take it. So I just bought the book, took it home, had a look inside, and I found immediately the titles, you know, as I went through the book, quite interesting. Like, you know, the origin of species, and like how we've evolved, and how like you know, his voyage or his expeditions to find out how things are, you know. And I thought that was an exciting thing. So I went to the Natural History Museum, went to the Darwin, the Egg, the Darwin Centre, and I bought his notebook there. And on the notebook, you had like he had his really interesting, anecdotes and his like theories basically coming together, and he had little drawings done on old paper with a quill and the pen and ink and all that stuff. Yeah. And although I'm not like it wasn't the drawings that struck me, but I like the idea that someone's gone to an expedition with the quill and the pen trying to like figure out stuff, and so I bought the same things. I bought a quill, I bought a pen, I bought all this stuff, and I thought I'm going to try and do some stuff with the same materials as he did when he went on an expedition, because I'm going out to sea or whatever. And so I took his main theories, like aligning the balance, or like where he's talking about the difference between one species and another, surviving or not surviving. I took another one of the main ones I did was the struggle for existence, where he talks about how difficult it is for a species to exist. And so the ones that I liked the most, basically, I took them out from the book, and I thought, I'm going to work on the struggle for existence. That's it.
That's your title.
Yeah. So that's my title, and obviously I've read what he's talking about.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm trying to like look at an equestrian piece, look at like one of the videos of my horses that I like, or whatever I've taken, or whatever thing I've got that I like, and look at it through like this theory. So it's like getting the theory, making them into goggles,
fresh eyes,
and looking at it through that.
Yeah.
And then there's a new. I'm not looking at a horse anymore. I'm looking at like. Obviously, there's a horse at the end. But I'm trying to find like how can I interpret this in inside the canvas, and it still makes sense, and I still I have the time thing, and I have all the stuff that I always have, but how can I see the horse through this? And that in itself is already like quite impossible, really. So it makes it really interesting for me, and I want to be excited with what I do all the time. If not, I know that something's not right. Like, as soon as I start painting, another painting, I've done one and now I've got another one. And you start with numbers and stuff like that. Or, well, if you do 2 more of this, I'm done. I'm never going to do that. Anyway, I need to wake up and think, right, this has got really exciting. Really is, I'm saying. It's not, I need another number. I really find this part exciting. And then I do something, and I think on the next one, right, I can take it even further. Maybe I do 3 on the struggle, for instance, or 4, or whatever. But whichever title gives me that like extra spin that I think, there's something else that I haven't really explored, I'll do it. And as soon as it's finished, I'll go on to the next title. And that's how I basically did this exhibition.